All right, guys, we doing it. We're going live with the Bare Knuckle FC Heavyweight Champ, Joey Beltran. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Man, we're doing good, man. We're rolling. We're rolling. How's everything in your world right now?
Everything is good. No complaints. Very fortunate. Nobody in my family or close circle has gotten this virus.
Right.
Been able to just kind of roll with the punches as far as training and adapting. Um, the only thing that sucks is as far as like our having had like the date of my prospective fight pushed back a couple times, but I mean,
Right.
it's all good. I mean, I'm not the only one in this boat. We're all getting fucked with by the government and by this shit, so
Right.
it's all good.
Right. Talking about that, is there something on the horizon? We've already, so 9/11 is that great card, Daytona Beach, Tiago and Lombard, main event in those cards. I feel like the next month they kind of mentioned Jim Allers and Luis Palomino's going to war. Have they mentioned to you any dates that's coming close?
I believe Jim Allers is in November.
Right.
And I'm looking at October.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't want to like get my hopes up too much or jinx it per se, but God willing, September 11th goes through safely, and then we move on to October, and I'll be up.
Absolutely, man. How is it? You as fought for bare knuckle 5 times. They had the press conference. It's awesome to have Paige there. It's great to have more eyes on the thing. Hopefully, more money for everyone. Does it irk you just a tad that you are the heavyweight champ? You fought for him 5 times, and just not a lot of communication about Joey Beltran and about the heavyweight champion.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, I'm just got to go out there and perform, and not let my ego get not let my ego get a hold of me, because I've learned through life, the ego is not your amigo. and so fuck, I could sit here all day and complain about shit that and have a sense of entitlement, but at the end of the day, it's I gotta go out and perform and win fights, and that's all I really care about. I don't really give a fuck about press conferences and shit like that.
Right. How is it that did you think back then, a year and a half ago, fighting for Bare Knuckle FC, the start of it, would you ever fathom that it would come to this level? It's getting notion, they have their own app, they're really rolling, big names, big money been flying around. Have you ever thought that Bare Knuckle FC would make it to this point?
I mean, honestly, in the first one, no. The first one is such a stepping into the great unknown. I had no idea.
Right.
I mean, I didn't really know what the fuck what to expect. But now, I mean, you kind of see like this, like it picking up steam, and the
Right.
Palomall, and I fought on the Palomall and Najee card, and when that happened, that was really like, okay, like this shit's about to take off.
Yeah.
And and so yeah, it's pretty cool to watch. It kind of reminds me of like the old UFC, the first UFC 1 days, and
Right.
and
Right.
so like I said, I just growing with the sport as far as developing my skill set and really honing in to the bare knuckle fighting championships rule set, and just making myself the most dangerous version of myself possible.
Love it. There's 2 things there you said I really want to jump into. Yeah. I feel the same way. I've been to a couple events now for Bare Knuckle FC. There's just it's got great momentum, a great mojo. The ring, how great it looks. It looks beautiful visually. I remember UFCs in those early days, and you were around UFC, Bellator, all that. It's just it's pretty wild. It has that UFC feel, the evolution of it, taking it to the next level. Bigger names now, bigger with being on DAZN now. Just all these things are moving on the right way. I think it has a lot, to feel from the UFC days. I think.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I mean,
And then
I'm enjoying it a lot.
Right, and what you were saying too about you changing your skill set a little bit. Of course, you don't have to work on the ground. You don't have to work wrestling. You don't have to. It's not like Daniel Cormier is going to try to dump you on your head or anything of that nature. To really, clinch, jab, all that stuff, the knuckles. Have you kind of changed your training, regiment to get to be more of a bare knuckle fighter?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I'm definitely, to be able to have the luxury of focusing just on one art, and it's like, always like made me laugh growing up, coming up in the sport. Like when I would go to boxing gyms and like boxers kind of, the boxers, like traditional boxers, like always kind of had this like looking down upon us like attitude. Like when an MMA guy would come spar, I'm like, fuck
Right.
you motherfuckers. Like I'm gonna spar you and then I'm gonna go do jiu-jitsu for 2 hours. Like what do you
Right.
you know? And so it's like now it's like it's cool. I get it. Well, like because it's weird because at the end of the day, it's like I only have to worry about two weapons, like somebody's hands, but then also on the other side of the coin, I only have two weapons.
Right.
And so it's like I get it. It's cool. I like it. I really like it, man.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. Great theater, great action. On the last card in Oxford, Dylan Clicker, a heavyweight, was in the co-main event, got a knockout win. They're pushing Shannon Briggs. He's out there. Looks like we're not sure what's going to happen. Has there been a name thrown at you at all, or someone that you would love to like? Yeah, let's knuckle up. Let's toe the line with this person.
I mean, honestly, there's been a couple names like thrown my way. The one fight that does definitely interest me just because of the whole unification title thing was the Mark Godbeer fight.
Right.
We were scheduled to fight in April, and then coronavirus hit, and then, I mean, I could only imagine he went through some similar hardships we all had to go through.
Right.
We all had to make financial adjustments, and I was fortunate enough to be able to still train people and generate income that way.
Right.
You know, so I don't really know what led up to his decision to retire. So then he retired, right? And but then I saw on Twitter the other day that he's not retiring and he's talking about coming back and fighting me. I'm like, good, fucking sign him up.
Right.
Bring him.
That would be the fight you would like.
That would be the fight I would like him. Or I mean, I want my run back with Arnold Adams. You know, I mean, he's like he has a win over me, and it was due to doctor stoppage from cuts, and this is kind of lame. I would have rather been knocked out. If I would have been knocked out, I would have been like, all right, well, you know, but I mean, he landed legitimate shots and fucking sliced my eye open, and I made adjustments during the fight, and we actually got all the way to the fourth round before the doctor stopped it. So it's like I definitely feel like I've gotten better in this sport, and I would definitely want my run backs with him.
Right, absolutely. We got 10 cool questions, but before we hit that up real quick is Stipe fought DC a couple weeks ago at the Apex Las Vegas. Dana White threw it out there. Whoever wins this fight is the greatest heavyweight of all time. You being a heavyweight, love your take on it. Is Stipe Miocic the greatest heavyweight in combat sports and mixed martial arts?
I would think it would be a toss-up between him and vintage Fedor.
Right.
Fedor in his prime and Stipe. I mean, I don't know who wins that one.
No, that's a great call. I think.
Yeah. But I mean, right now, man, you can't argue with that. I mean, holding those two solid wins over Daniel Cormier. I mean, Cormier is a fucking stud, obviously. Yeah. And to get those two solid wins over somebody like that, I mean, you can't argue with him being the best. And it's funny, like, people are like, oh, like, Francis Ngannou. I'm like, dude, UFC's doing a good job of selling that fight because anybody that knows anything, like, Stipe's already put on a clinic, like he said in the other
beat him for 25 minutes.
He put on a 25-minute clinic on how to beat him. And so, like, you know, I don't think you get that much better at wrestling over a year or two. So I think Stipe's going to beat him again.
I agree with you on that. It's so funny. I feel the same way. Yeah, Francis in 40 seconds in a tornado, unbelievable. But it's not a 25-minute mixed martial arts, and Stipe Miocic is too smart, too strong, has too many weapons in the bank. But it's crazy. We can't wait. Like I said, we got 10 cool questions. You ready for it, my man?
Fire away.
Here we go. Who would play you in a movie about you?
Oh, I mean, my initial response would be Vin Diesel, but he's a little too short.
I like that one though, man. I like it's Hollywood. They'll boost them up another 5 inches.
Give us a booster seat.
There you go. What's your lucky number?
I don't know. 7.
Dead or alive, 2 people to have dinner with.
Salma Hayek and Julio Cesar Chavez.
Who's the other one?
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Okay. That's a good one right there. If you had to start a charity, what would it be for?
A charity?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. That's a good question. I would start it for homelessness, for homeless kids and youth in fucking California.
Love it. What is your biggest fear?
Rats.
There you go.
Rats. Yeah, I don't do well with rats.
That Indiana Jones movie, they're all stepping and moving. The ground's moving.
Fuck, dude, yeah. I grew up in a poor ass ghetto apartment, and like we had a rat problem growing up, so that traumatized me for a little kid.
What everyday thing do you still get excited about?
Food, eating.
Outside of combat sports, what's your favorite activity?
Riding my bike.
There you go. Two left. What's your favorite locker room story?
I don't know. Yeah.
There's nothing like a locker room.
I know. Oh, I remember getting in. We used to like get in like little like. It was back when NWO was big in wrestling, pro wrestling, like back in the late '90s. You know, NWO.
Right.
Came up
for life.
And yeah, for life. And so we called ourselves the Wolfpack, and we would go in the we would jump our teammates, like fake jump, just like WWF jump our teammates and body slam them and shit in high school and our high school football team. So that was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, Nash Hall, the Wolfpack. I love it. Last one, my man. You're gonna get $10 million. It's an absolute dream fight. You pick the venue, the place. What title is it for, and who do you fight? What is your absolute dream fight?
Oh, well, I would definitely think Madison Square Garden, Shannon Briggs, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship.
Ooh, I like that. We like that, man. Joey Beltran, the Bare Knuckle FC Heavyweight Champion. We hopefully talk to you soon. Hopefully we'll see you toe the line in October, my man.
Thank you, man. Have a great day.